Tonight on Podcast Them Down, I get things shoved in my ears, and I have to stand around waiting for someone who gives half a shit. Podcast Them Down. Hail, Metal Nation! It is I, Tim, and I wasted hours and hours of my day today. And it's all thanks to Guitar Center. So, I got Matt and Doug here as my captive audience, and I'm gonna complain at length about this.
Yeah, shit, I thought we were talking about Star Trek.
Yeah, I thought we were going to talk about Valley Forge. I've done so much research.
Guess what? Fuck you.
Oh, man.
So, I am in the market for some custom molded in-ear monitors. There are two stories, and they don't overlap, but they happened at the same day.
Okay.
And cost me lots of money, and it's just like one experience versus the other for just to compare and contrast. So the in-ears. So I am in the market for custom molded in-ear monitors. So what those are
what are those?
They take impressions of your ears,
okay,
and then they mold earplugs or headphones or whatever that perfectly fit to your ears, so they block out the most sound. And it's a nice step up from what I have been using, which is my drummer's in-ears, his spare in-ears, because mine fell apart.
By your drummer, do you mean Dave or Zach?
Zach.
Okay, well that's more sensible.
So he has custom molded in-ears. So he had a spare pair lying around that weren't custom molded. So when mine broke, he's been letting me borrow that. And I was like, I'll get these done quickly.
So you weren't wearing his custom molded in-ears?
No.
Because if you were, I would say it's a fucking scam.
I mean, if I was, it was probably really uncomfortable.
Okay, all right.
So what you do is... Well, I put it off for a year. That's the first thing you do.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Because the prices of these fucking things are ridiculous. Because most of the places that offer them are high-end companies, right?
Okay.
They're like, yeah, we'll put our $500 in-ears into the custom molded chassis. And it'll only cost you $1,000. This is a really good savings. Oh, you want higher quality headphones, huh? Well, there's going to be more, So that's what they. That's why I didn't pull the trigger on this for a while. But then I happened across a company whose top of the line in-ears with 4 drivers for those who care about number of drivers, their top of the line in-ears were cheaper than 4 other companies' bottom of the line in-ears, including like all the customizations and extra cables and shit. So I was like, all right, I'll buy it. So I went to the audiologist because you should not take your own ear impressions, it turns out. And,
wait, what could go wrong?
I think that's Tim's other story.
Permanent deafness.
I mean, that's not important for a musician.
No.
I heard Beethoven was a great musician.
So, Tim, is an in-ear kind of like acoustically intended to be like a reference monitor? Like, is it distorting the sound in a way that gives you
it kind of depends. So it's those earbuds that you see musicians wearing on stage, and they are each person typically gets their own mix, so only stuff they care about. Okay. So in my mix, for example, I have the guitars. Silent. I have the guitars turned kind of down, and my vocals way up, and everyone else's vocals like quiet, and
so you have like a narcissistic mix where it just sounds like you're playing by yourself.
And some clicks. Well, how about this? In some bands, I have some people mixed completely out, so you can speculate on that one.
Do their names rhyme with Spave Denshammer?
And well, I could do that because we do have the click for one of those pins.
So the metal is now the pursuit of loneliness, both on stage and off.
Well, I heard somewhere that James Hetfield only has Lars and himself in his mix.
That tracks. That scans.
Yeah, but I saw some video. I think they were playing The Shortest Straw when someone fucks up. I forget who, but it's interesting because Lars and James stay together. so that's evidence.
We call that the money mix.
And just to further derail you, Tim, universal use of in-ears is relatively recent, right? In the old days, wasn't there sort of a monitor speaker in front of you?
Yeah, so that tends to be that's like the old way to do things. Is there's a speaker on the ground pointed at your face, and you can when you say, "Can I get more bass in the monitors?" which is something no one would ever say. Then they turn it up in your speaker in front of you. And the problem with that is it makes all the mics are going to pick all that up. So it makes it more challenging to mix, especially when you're guitarist. A band opened for another band of mine. Let's leave it that vague. And the guy couldn't hear his guitar to save his life, even though it's the loudest fucking thing in the room.
Uh-oh.
And he kept going, "Can I turn the guitar? Can I get more guitars in the monitors?" And they kept saying, "No." Yeah, so, but Fade to Black and ISENMOR run off in-ears. So it's a huge headache. So, like, you have to determine if it's worth it to, get your own mix and who's controlling that mix, because then you're at the mercy of the sound guy if you leave it up to him. So, it's a whole production. Oh, RVG uses the same thing that ISENMOR uses, like literally the same hardware. We just it's just repurposed for RVG. So anyway, man, I need an RVG show. So to go to the audiologist to get your in-ears, they want, how much do you think just impressions of your ears cost?
$300.
I had no basis for comparison before I started asking. So
I'm going to get $300.
300.
I'll go with 400.
Yeah, well, you two must work for the audiologists in the area, because I called 6 places, and of the places that would do it and give you the molds. So some places won't give you the molds when they're done.
Okay.
Lock you in.
What's the point? Yeah. They all charged in that neighborhood, like $150 per ear or whatever.
Wow. Per ear?
Per ear. So I found a place. Yeah. Yeah. If it was a hashtag NPR, it'd get expensive fast.
Mm-hmm. So what are they? Are these real, like, is the typical use case like some kind of very custom hearing aid?
Yeah, so most audiologists are doing that for hearing aids. I don't know if you watch My 600-Pound Life, but
I do.
There was the episode with the girl from somewhere in the Midwest, I believe, and she.
Wait, hold on. For this story to be true, I'd have to believe that there's a fat person who lives in the Midwest.
Well, she was the one who had, I think it was Lacey was her name.
Okay.
And she had, she's like, "I'm divorced from my husband," but then decided to go back to him and be a sister wife. And then, like a few weeks later, met some guy with a hearing disability and used his disability checks to fund her eating habit. Oh. While they, so that he used an app on his phone as a hearing aid, which is like, I'm sure you can Go. I'm sure there's an audiologist who will give you proper hearing aids instead of just using your phone. But anyway, so
well, now I'm sad.
Yeah, well, don't worry. There's a good part to this. So I found a place nearby that charged. Well, they said $50 per ear, and I said I didn't say that's a much better price than everyone else. I just said, okay, I'll do it. And then she goes, okay, hold please. Then comes back on. It goes, it's $50 total. I'm like, hell yes.
What?
Yeah. And apparently that's still a high price if you ask Reddit. Because if you search for custom in-ears, ear impressions, people say they cost like $30, $40, But whatever, it was the best price I was going to get. So I made my appointment, and that was a weird experience. Because first of all, it's like a proper doctor's office, right? Obviously. And they, you have to give them your insurance and fill out your medical history and all this shit I was like, you're just putting silicone in my ears, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but they did all that. What they do, I should have brought them. I still have them because I haven't sent them off to the company yet. So talk amongst yourselves while I get it. I will not edit this part out. So whatever you say, I won't know because
All right, now's our time. I was thinking at first that he was going to go to some kind of veterinarian, because why would the impression be so cheap compared to the other price? What did you just jump cut? That was pretty amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Pet insurance is increasingly a thing.
Yeah. But your Chihuahua ears are a lot bigger than say, like a dachshund. So maybe. Was it a veterinarian, Tim?
Maybe. So what they do is they put a foam sponge in your ear with a little string attached to it, and they jam it down with a big pike.
A pike?
Yeah, and well, that's what it looked like. And she said, "This is to make sure nothing touches your eardrum." And she kept going deeper and deeper. I'm like, I'm sure you're past my eardrum, but that part was a little uncomfortable. Then comes the silicone. So they squeeze it in, and it's like a big syringe just filled with this malleable putty, right? And they fill it in, and all these in-ear places say you need to get past the second bend of the ear canal, so that's why it's so deep. And they're like, you have to get. They list all the. It sounds like a piercing, a list of piercings someone has. It's like you have to get the tragus, the antitragus, the helix, the blah, 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 all the made up things.
I'm grossed out.
And yeah, so she I showed her the thing that they require, and she's like, well, we'll just use two packages of this per ear, so build it up. So then you sit there for I forgot one part. You have to put a bite block in your mouth.
What? Why?
Because your jaw changes how
okay
big your ears are, like your ear canal is. So to get the best fit, you also have to put this thing in your mouth. You sit there for 5 minutes, and she never left. So it's just kind of awkward because she's talking, but you can't really respond. And I'm just trying not to drool. So, and then she twists it out. And that was the third most uncomfortable part. There's no getting around the discomfort. It wasn't painful. It was just slightly unpleasant.
Okay, but it's silicone, so it's a little flexy.
Yep.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Sounds
a little
like
bit.
Something they do to Captain Kirk, and right now is where you'd cut to the commercial break.
You see, Doug, what it does, it enters through the ear and then wraps itself around the cerebral cortex.
Yeah,
right.
and you have to be like chained up.
Yeah, chained up.
So, then they do the other ear. So it was easy. She was nice. We talked about hearing aids briefly. And so I have the impressions, and I'm gonna warn you, they're a little gross because even though she checked, she's like, your ears are clean. There's still wax on the end of them. So here you go. Here's my ears. Here's my ears.
Oh,
Wow.
But then,
gross.
I'll tell you what's grosser. So then to order. So I went on the website and you ordered it, and they have you take pictures of your impressions before you send them,
Okay.
so they can tell you if you done fucked up. Because I guess they had to send so many back. They're just like, show us what you have first. And the wax really stands out in those photos. But I don't want to be messing with them.
Right.
So there's not much. For our listeners, it's just the deepest part. Have some gold on them. So, all right. So yeah, and it was like so easy to order these. Just the hard part is going to the audiologist and trying to figure out your medical history, and then they jam silicone in your ear. So the other thing that happened, and it's about the same price. That's why I'm bringing this up. Dave somehow broke his electronic kit. I think, like, sort of. It, like, half works. But I think he drummed wrong and hit the module at practice. So half of it's not working, and we haven't opened it up yet. But for a while, I was like, well, why don't we keep a drum kit here for practice? That's always here.
Okay.
So Guitar Center was having a sale. And, we split up the price a bunch of ways. So it's on sale and it's being split. So it's nice and affordable, right?
Okay.
And so they're like, oh, you can order it online and we'll tell you when it's ready to pick up. And all over the website is this contactless curbside pickup. Says it everywhere.
CCSPU.
Yeah, sure. So, they said it was in stock at Rockville. Now, I haven't been to the Rockville Guitar Center in a long time.
Oh, you can get yourself a car wash on the way.
Not the way I went.
Oh.
Or is that right next to it?
It's right next door.
Yeah, I haven't driven in Montgomery County in so long that I was like fucking furious the whole time.
Yeah, you gotta get
and
over that.
That's it. They even added that road behind that Target that's right there.
Oh yeah,
and that was the most pleasant part of the drive because no one was on that road as opposed to everywhere.
Bow Avenue.
Bow. That's Bow Avenue.
It's named for the best beer in the best town.
No wonder it was the best road in town. I was like, I'll order this and I'll pick it up on my lunch break, right? And because what do they have to do? They have to go to the warehouse and put my name on it and like stage it somewhere, right? How many hours do you think that takes? Because apparently the answer is 5.
Oh.
For them to get something that's in stock at Rockville. Now, I've been to the Laurel, Maryland Guitar Center quite a few times, and I'm always wondering how they stay in business, because I've never purchased anything there. And maybe the one or two times I wanted to, the salesman like put me off, and I was like, I'll just order this. I'll order this from Sweetwater while I'm standing in Guitar Center, And then I assume you two have never ordered anything from Sweetwater, have you?
No.
All right, so Sweetwater
Is that
is
a
basically
salad place?
Yeah, isn't it? I think I had like a kale bowl.
oh well, this Sweetwater is literally the opposite because they send you candy along with whatever you ordered. So it's a store in like Fort Wayne, Indiana, and I guess they realized, Amazon's the way to go. So they have become. It's I was gonna say the Amazon of musical instruments, but not
Ooh.
really, because they don't have a dick-shaped spaceship, and no one who works for them is, on welfare.
They don't have it yet.
Yeah. We'll see what the longer term plans are. So they, what they do is like you order the guy, you get a personal rep, and they email you, and then he'll call you the next day. He's like, "Hey, I saw you ordered some strings." Like, yeah. It's like, all right, well, if anything's wrong with them, just let me know. And like I wonder how many times he gets hung up on. Because, like, he'll call at 8 a.m. And I'm like, what musician wants to be called at 8 a.m.?
This is actually a pretty cool website.
Oh, yeah, I like Sweetwater. But they, like I said, they also send you non-melting candy in a little bag. A lot of it's
that's
like
a plus.
grandpa candy. But, it's also like Tootsie Rolls and Smarties and Atomic Fireballs.
Huh.
Warheads and stuff. So anyway, and they have decent prices too. This episode brought to you by Sweetwater. Hey, Charles Cummings,
Wait,
my Sweetwater rep.
Yeah, he should give you a fucking discount.
Yeah. Anyway, so Guitar Center. So they finally go, your order's ready. When you get here, call the store or press the "I'm here" button after you park in the curbside parking space. Just park in the curbside parking space. And well, like I said, driving in Montgomery County was an ordeal to begin with. And then I finally get there, and I'm like, I don't really want to do this curbside thing, but the email said to, and nothing said it. It didn't say anything about going in. So I looked for the spaces, and I couldn't find one. Like, there's no curbside pickup parking spaces. Okay, so I just park and I walk in, and I don't know the last time you've been there, but there's someone always at the front desk. At least there used to be. The last time I was there 5 years ago. And so I walk in, no one's there. Like, okay. All right. So I stood around awkwardly for a while, and then a Guitar Center employee comes out of the back and then kind of looks at me and keeps going and picks someone up for a music lesson. So I was like, oh, okay, well, you must be one of the teachers, because I guess that's how they're making their money now.
Yeah.
Giving music lessons. But then someone gets up behind the desk and is obviously like avoiding eye contact with me.
That's your guy.
Walks away. And I was like, all right. Well, so then a delivery guy comes in from like UPS or something. He was the most pleasant person in that building, because he walks in and he goes, "Hey, you look like a guitar man." And I was like,
said that to you?
He said that to me. I was like, yeah, you have a keen eye.
You're like, indeed I do.
Thank you. And so he stands around for a while, and we're like, what the hell? So, but he's on the clock. So he has more motivation to go find someone than I do. And so he goes to like the guitar, he picks a direction and goes in it, and he goes to the guitar section and comes back with someone who's like, where the dock is, and blah, blah, blah. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll do this. So I go over to the other guy who's standing there, who's like fiddling with a guitar, looking down, trying to avoid me again. And so I'm like, all right, he's trying to ignore me. I'll go to the drum section because I bought a drum set. So it is fucking deserted. They got rid of the counter. There's no one there. at all. Like, there's drums everywhere, but no one. All right. So I come back and I just walk up to the guy finally. I'm like, yeah, I had an online order. I couldn't find the curbside pickup parking spaces. And he goes, oh, yeah, we don't do curbside anymore. I'm just like, the email said it. There are signs everywhere for it, except for in the parking lot. like this is Guitar Center's big thing is curbside delivery. They didn't even change the email. But Guitar Center Rockville has decided not to do it. So I was like, okay. And while I'm here, and he takes like 5 minutes like typing in the computer, and he goes, it'll be right down. How long do you think I waited for it to be right down?
50 minutes.
Was that 15 or 50?
He's at 50.
It wasn't that long. I'd be much more pissed off if it
30 minutes.
was. Yeah, it was 30 minutes for this guy. He finally appears with a hand truck. And he goes, here you go. And he hands me the hand truck.
What?
So I could have walked out there with a hand truck, but they knew who I was, unfortunately, because I ordered it online. So, yeah, so I wheel it out to my car and put it in and bring the hand truck back. And it was just like, it was so sad in that Guitar Center. Like I thought the Laurel one was sad, but this one was like a whole different level of sad.
Oh.
And it sounds like a classic franchise and corporate mix up.
Oh yeah, I don't know. Like the building they're in is much bigger than most of the other Guitar Centers.
Yeah, I don't know how they afford that. Their rent has got to be astronomical because that was it used to be
Veneman.
Well, before that, it was a department store.
I know that building,
called Bell and Company, and so W.E. Bell and Company, I think it was called. But yeah, it was like a fucking department store, and it was multiple levels. It was, a big place. So I think I don't know what they're doing. Maybe it's storage. Maybe that's the distribution hub for the other, Guitar Centers in the region. I don't know, but there's a lot of wasted space.
Yeah, absolutely. It's only the first floor is retail space, but it's like, I don't know, a 4-story building.
Yeah, no, it's huge.
And the floor space is huge too. Like just the first floor, like they have more inventory than any of the other ones. So, yeah, and they're also missing this golden opportunity. It's the Rockville. They need to, capitalize on that.
Yeah, Rockville needs to lead into that.
Yeah,
screw Catonsville.
Oh well, that was the other thing. I noticed on my maps, on my GPS, that the shopping center right next to it, on the map, said over at North Bethesda. I was like, oh, that's adorable.
Yeah, they're trying to make that happen.
At least
stop trying to make it a thing. It's not a thing.
Rockville's an incorporated municipality, so they can only encroach so much before it has to be Rockville.
Yeah, that's true. Before the mayor gets involved.
I was gonna do a mayor of.
They were renaming that area around White Flint. They wanted to call it something stupid. I want to say Pike Place.
Oh, no, it's called Pike and Rose, Doug.
God, that's even worse.
Dumb. And if you'll allow me to get hyper local.
Uh-oh.
I also...
We're talking about Rockville isn't local enough?
No, it gets more. So, my GPS took me via Randolph Road in front of Loman's Plaza.
Okay.
Which is down the road from what used to be White Flint Mall.
Yep.
And what's impressive about Loman's Plaza is they have overdeveloped the whole area around it. It's just crammed with housing. yet there is nothing in Loman's Plaza.
Yeah,
Like,
no, that's
how is
that's
that
very
even
true.
possible?
I'm not sure. I really wish I could tell you.
Yeah, so I think Guitar Center maybe should move over there and use less wasted space.
Well, but that's a good point. I am frankly amazed. They must have some sweetheart deal lease. Why is that Guitar Center not 7 stories of condos already?
Well,
Yeah, like
do they
everything
do
else
mail
in
order or
Rockville.
anything? Are they using that warehouse for regionally?
It's
You
got it.
you can have stuff shipped to you. So I guess so, but it's hard to say.
So it was always fun. Speaking of local, back in the day when I used to play Warhammer, the Games Workshop National Distribution Center is in Glen Burnie.
Okay.
So you could, and it was behind the storefront. I don't know if it's still like that, but you could just walk up to the counter, hand in an order form, and do a mail order, and they'll go get you whatever obscure piece you want.
Oh, that's convenient. I like that. Now, is it still there? I wonder. And if so, if not, is that Games Workshop still in Arundel Mills, or did all the casino patrons chase it away? Anyway, so that's my story of spending hundreds of dollars. So, it's the drum kit is still in my car, and my in-ears are right here, covered in wax.
So wait, you're an engineer, and
Yeah.
and Mike's pretty close, and you guys aren't going to tinker with the broken one?
So I did try to fix the broken one. Well, the broken in-ears, and like it is so small, like it can't be fixed, at least not by me. I haven't cracked open the module yet, so I've been planning to do it, but instead, I've been recording podcasts.
Okay, this is ridiculous. So I have been doing a deep dive on this building.
Yeah.
So in 2010,
It's a good way to wrap this up.
in 2010, a company called Wilco bought it from Coob Veneman, who I guess is the Veneman of Veneman's music,
Okay.
for $5.25 million. How big, in terms of square footage, is that building?
Oh, it's huge, but I can't put numbers.
You got to guess.
25,000.
No. Way too low, Doug.
The way you said no, 75.
50,000 square feet. What the fuck? What? Please, Mr. Wilco's and your business partners, Farnoff, Steppa, and Don Hinton. I don't know what you're doing, but you are fucking up big time.
And I'm going to go on the record and say, even in the suburban DC metro, like there are a lot of really interesting buildings. We don't get enough credit.
No, that is very true.
Well, you should drive around sometime, because between all the interesting buildings, they've crammed those 5/1 condos everywhere.
Yeah, done in the shitty Maryland colonial style, no doubt.
Yep, you got it. All right. Ugh. I'll keep that.
Hey,
in
don't
too.
do that on mic. It's horrible to edit out.
Yeah, it is. It's very annoying. Okay, well, until next time, keep your merchandise
Secure, I guess.
secure.
Well,
Fill out your square footage appropriately. Jam things in your ears, but only if there's a trained professional nearby. There we go. That's a good one.
don't stick
See you
nothing in
soon.
your ears.
PG Plaza.
You know, they changed the metro stop from PG Plaza, since PG Plaza's not there anymore.
Oh, did they tear that down? That's a
It's
shame.
called Hyattsville Crossing or something.
Yeah, so it's like there's 3 Hyattsville stations now.
Is that it was right by Riverdale Park / Hyattsville. That thing, that massive, like they were meant to run a highway through it, so they built, a fake city.
Oh, yeah.
It was right near PG Plaza. Has anything happened there?
There's a brewery, but that's about it.
I remember that. And I remember reading a George Pelecanos novel where the detective lives there. And I'm like, yes.
Welcome to We're going to have to start a whole new narrowcasting series on Podcast Them Down.
Yeah. Yes.
Did we just all change clothes?
Well, it was black for a few seconds.
Okay, I guess that's true. All right, so you had an epilogue?
Yeah, so days later, so I emailed Guitar Center. And
okay.
I was like, this drum set is was opened and used by somebody. It's clearly a return or a floor model. Do you remember this from only moments ago when we talked about it?
Yeah. No, I remember you were super excited to get this drum set, and you said, boys, I am butt-sized.
Butt-sized.
It seems like more days have passed than could have possibly passed, but go on.
So I emailed Guitar Center, and they said, we'll get back to you within 24 hours. And in my email, I forget if I told you this part, in my email, I was like, I am not setting foot back inside Rockville Guitar Center.
That's sensible.
So then Saturday, I went to Rockville Guitar Center because no one responded. And I just walked in with the box.
Uh-huh.
And apparently they have their A team working on Saturdays. Because the guy was like, and their fucking Z team working on Thursdays.
Oh.
So Saturdays, I just brought it in, and the guy's like, okay, well, I'll check it out. Right? We'll go find you one that's new in box. And apparently, every single one of these drum kits at Guitar Center was opened, played, and returned.
What?
So,
not exactly a ringing endorsement of the product.
I know. In that color. So he says to me, I can get you this other color. We found one untouched one in this other color. And I'm like, I don't care what color it is. So he brought it out, and it took them another 20 minutes. Like, I think the warehouse people are very lethargic.
Was it like Lakers colors, polka dots, like yellow on purple or something?
No, not even that.
Oh.
I would have taken a yellow on purple. Yeah.
Well,
so
okay. So now you have a new multicolored drum set.
Yes, and I brought it home and it works. And as of recording, 5 days later, Guitar Center hasn't gotten back to me in 24 hours. So,
wow. Has Dave complained?
So maybe they'll still give me a refund.
Oh yeah. Just say, hey, I'm very dissatisfied. What's the deal with this?
Yeah, Dave saw it.
What'd he say?
He said it's adequate.
Did he give it the old like dum?
Of course.
All right.
Yep. All right, so that's my update. You can stop listening now and listen to the next episode of Podcast Them Down.
Yeah, fuckers.